Artemisia the One of Korea commanded her own fleet in the naval battle of Salamis against the Greeks. She was so respected for her ferocity that the Greeks put a bounty on her head. Mongolian wrestler Kutulun rode into battle alongside Genghis Khan and refused to marry any man who couldn't defeat her in wrestling, remaining undefeated. Tomyris, the nomadic queen of the Masagetai, led her armies to victory against Cyrus the Great of Persia and even killed him in battle. The elite female Dahomey Amazons of West Africa formed a savage all-female regiment that even frightened European colonizers with their fearlessness and fighting skills. Queen Zenobia of Palmyra in Syria challenged the might of Rome and conquered Egypt before finally being defeated by Emperor Aurelian.
I played that to start the show off because it's a lot of things that's about to happen. I'm about to explain it to you, and I'm gonna need you to stick with me. I'm gonna start playing a series of clips, and then I'm gonna stop, explain to you why I'm playing the clips, and then we're gonna keep going. But I'm building up. There's something that I've been calling a crescendo, and it's happening. And I need everybody to be prepared and understand what's going on. Okay? So, ladies, this podcast is for you. This is to help y'all stay on point. I have daughters. I've been saying it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I've been shouting to the top of my lungs to try to get people prepared to understand what's really happening. Understand that this is the holidays, but my gift to you is gift of survival. Let's go to the first clip. Okay, this first clip that I'm gonna play, and the reason why I'm playing the clips the way I play them, and I actually let the people who clips that I play finish their clips is because this is their content. They work hard to create their content, and I just really don't like using sound bites out of things that they work hard in. So this clip might be like 6, 7 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I want you to get you the gist of what she's saying because this is the beginning, and it's going to be a couple of things that's going to be adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on. And the reason why I'm talking about, and I'm talking to women, because I have, like I said, I have 3 daughters that I'm raising. And in this world, that the way the world's about to change right now, there's a lot of single women out there right now. A lot of single mothers, just a lot of single women, no men around. And I'm telling y'all better be prepared. If y'all ever heard of the atrocities and crazy stuff that have happened in other countries, I implore y'all, please talk to some of these other ladies from other countries that work with y'all. You know, talk to these little Spanish ladies and some West Indian ladies and some African ladies and people that's been through the war zones and people that's been through where they had to run and all this other stuff. See, unfortunately, ladies, and I'm gonna have to be real with y'all, and these are to all my American women, or especially some of y'all who've never left the country, who've never been places, who've never been to other countries and seen the downside of things. A lot of people in other countries look at American women like y'all are pompous. Because y'all had it so good, even poor women in America have it better than some rich people in other countries. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real. The things you could do in America and the way you could get money, the way you could survive, I'm telling you, you ever have that family member, you know, that one person that everybody just can't wait to just crash and burn? They're just waiting for that person. And y'all know them. Y'all know who I'm talking about. There's a family member that everybody they always been up. They always been up. They always had it. They was raised with a silver spoon in their mouth or what have you. That's how people feel about you American women. And right now, what's about to happen, like I said, I don't care if Trump wins. Even if he wins, the things that these people have set in motion is going to take years to reverse. So there's going to be hard times. Next year is going to be crazy. So I just need y'all to listen. Listen to what's happening. I'm going to keep adding it and adding it on, adding it on, adding it on, and drawing a bigger picture so you ladies could understand why it's important to prepare now. So I thought people would really have until like maybe the end of January before things start jumping off. Nah, they're already starting hacking into electrical grids in Hawaii and water supplies and pipelines and other internet websites are getting hacked by Chinese. It's already happening. I thought it would be a month or two from now. No, it's already jumping off. And I said it before, and it was supposed to be on my live podcast before my computer went down, but there was a clip where uh, a Chinese immigrant shot off 40 flares, 30 to 40 flares in Philly, and then leveled the house while he was in it. Blew that thing to smithereens, perfectly in his own footprint. But what were those 30, 40 flares for? And now things jumping off. So I'm telling you, things are happening. I want y'all to be prepared. because this is the stuff that's happening right now that they're not really talking about. And when it all comes together, it's going to be a calamity.
Welcome. I'm very excited to have you, and I hope that you consider subscribing on YouTube, Rumble, and follow me on Substack for more weekly content. Today, I would like to talk to you about the money supply. It is a very important tool that is used to see if a major economic downturn is coming. Recently, banks started to tighten lending standards, which, mixed with high rates, works to limit the supply of cash that we as consumers have access to. And this is because banks lending creates more money. And if there's no lending, there's less cash in the economy. The less cash there is in the economy, of course, the less active we, the consumers, are, which then results in an economic slowdown. After 11 interest rate increases and much tighter lending standards, the money supply has been decreasing at the fastest pace since the Great Depression. Since the Federal Reserve printed more than $3 trillion in 2020 alone, the volume of cash injected into the economy was absolutely unprecedented. The two US money supply metrics are M1 and M2. M1 includes accounts for cash, coins in circulation, and checking bank deposits. M2 is a bit different because it includes money that may not be as liquid. M2 factors in everything in M1, plus money market accounts, savings accounts, and certificate of deposits or CDs below $100,000. And when M2 declines, you have to know that it is time to start paying very, very close attention. It happened only 4 times in the last 150 years, and it is happening now. The first time that money supply turned negative in recent years was in November of 2022, and it has been contracting ever since for the 12th month in a row. This year, money supply fell by 10%, which is the steepest drop in nearly 65 years. The money supply dropped by nearly $3 trillion, or $2.8 trillion to be precise. It was a 13% drop since the peak in April of 2022. What's very interesting is that money supply does not technically need to contract to be a red flag. It just needs to slow considerably, which is precisely what we're seeing now. It is typically seen as a negative indicator for inflation or a recession. Of course, the latest jobs report was very, very strong. It showed that employment increased by 200,000 in November alone, and the unemployment rate came down to 3.7%. Looking at those numbers, some people could argue that the economy is and will be just fine, and let's keep our fingers crossed that that's the case. However, it's really important to keep in mind that the jobs report is not the only relevant factor. It's not the only thing you need to be looking at. According to the Federal Reserve, job openings decreased by nearly a quarter during the past year. Default cycle has already started. Corporate bankruptcy filings have been rising, and because these things take time to unwind, default rates are expected to rise in 2024. This is because higher rates for longer will result in borrowing costs staying elevated, which in turn reduces earnings. Those are very important things to keep in mind. Now let's quickly chat about the reasons why money supply is shrinking. I briefly mentioned this earlier, but the main reasons are the Fed increasing interest rates as well as shrinking its balance sheet. When the Federal Reserve reduces its balance sheet holdings, which is just a very fancy way to say that it sells treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, it creates pressure on savings deposits because now those have to be financed with bank deposits. And so, according to Goldman Research, banks have mainly responded to the drop in deposits by raising new funding through things like large time deposits, by selling financial assets, and by slower lending. Here you can see the federal funds rate is in light blue and bank deposits are in black. There is a very clear correlation between the two as they move in the same direction. So now you can see how these things work and how the system could be compared to a game of dominoes, right? Lending standards. When banks reduce the amount of cash that they're willing to lend, that they have available for lending, it means less capital for businesses to hire employees and to run their operations. So, as the result of that, we should expect business activity to contract. This is going to have a chain reaction and it will affect employment numbers. When businesses can't take out loans to buy new inventory or to support their payroll, to support their operations, they will be forced to let people go. My prediction is that we will see unemployment numbers rise within the next 3 to 6 months. Even if the Federal Reserve starts cutting rates in May of 2024, which is the latest market expectation, it does not mean that banks' tighter lending standards will magically improve overnight for consumers. They won't. It takes the banking system a substantial amount of time to react. Since the money supply is contracting at such a rapid pace now, this may be a sign of the US economy starting to contract. As we know, it takes months, if not years, for the effects of multiple consecutive rate hikes to unwind. And what we're seeing now may just be the very beginning of it.
Basically, what she was saying is everything I was trying to say is that it's going to take time. So even if Trump does win, the effects of the things that they already put in effect is going to take time for us to get out of, and that's just the beginning of the banking side. Now, the next side I want y'all to see or listen to rather is check it out.
State struggles are real. Home buyers and sellers alike feeling a massive struggle to close deals or make money. And if you need yet another sign of turmoil, 45% of U.S. real estate agents are struggling to pay rent on their offices. Here to react is private equity fund manager and real estate investor Grant Cardone. Welcome, Grant. So tell me, why are real estate owners and agents not able to pay the rent? What is going on?
Well, because, Rachel, the Fed single-handedly has killed the housing market. The Fed will make more renters in this country in the next 2 years than it has in the last 50, because mortgage applications are at all-time lows. Mortgages are double what rent is today. And it doesn't surprise me that real estate agents are feeling the brunt of this. Back in June of 22, Jerome Powell said that the middle class, everyday people, would disproportionately feel the pain of higher interest rates in his attempt to control inflation. He has not controlled inflation. He has failed miserably. What he has actually done is create it and, in the meantime, stop the housing industry.
What would you recommend he do?
Well, what he should do is get out of the way. There's no time in history in my lifetime that the Fed actually controlled interest rates. Supply and demand is what controls interest rates. As long as people are spending their money, that means they want that product or service. At what point it gets to a price where I no longer find it valuable, I will no longer continue to purchase that. And people want homes. People want to live in a single family home. I don't personally think it's a great investment. I've said that many, many times. I've gotten ragged out on it, but he should step aside, get out of the way, let the market do its thing. Interest rates will have to come down in order for pricing to come down.
That's right.
This is actually a contradiction to what most people think. But when interest rates come down, mortgage applications will go up, and people will start selling their homes.
Well, the World Economic Forum had this famous commercial where they talked about the Great Reset, and they said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And you're seeing that happening. You're saying that we are becoming a renter nation. I say it's by design. Explain what you mean by it.
The rents in this country, the average rent, as much as people complain about them, we have 12,000 units. The average rent's about $1,800. And as much as they complain about it, the mortgage on a similar home in that same neighborhood would be double that, plus insurance, and plus a PMI, which is mortgage insurance on the mortgage itself. So it's unaffordable for people to own a home today. And that means you will rent, you will literally own nothing and be happy about it. Now, the apartment complexes that are being built today provide such crazy great amenities that it is actually, for new generations of people, it's actually an alternative that's not economic, but actually desirable for them to actually live someplace for 10 or 24 months at a time rather than hunker down for 30 years.
Yeah. Well, these hedge funds and private equity firms are buying up property and then, making them into rentals. And we're seeing, as you said, less and less people owning their home, which always was the American dream.
Yeah, and this is.
Go ahead. Last thought.
Yeah, I just want to say that we're entering the greatest real estate correction in my lifetime. It will not include single family homes, but it will include office, which we're already seeing that damage, and we're going to see it across the entire apartment complex. It's going to be a great opportunity for individuals, regular, everyday people to actually grab trophy real estate from institutions. This has never happened in this country. It's going to be at epic levels.
If you ever notice, like I was saying, they said the same thing. You will own nothing and like it. I keep saying that. Now you heard them say it. I'm telling you, this is what they're saying at the World Economic Forum. They're telling people that this is what the world's going to be like, and they're designing it. This is not chaos, organized. This is organized chaos. That's what this is. Everything's being done by design, and they're designing people not to have nothing, and it's going to get worse. Check the next clip out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like Lena Petrova. She's a CPA, and I've been following her for a while. And she's one of the people that when I try to make, I don't listen to everything everybody say, but I take people who tend to be right, who tend to be on the ball, and listen to the things they say. So a lot of times you'll hear me use her clips because she's been correct in my book for the last couple of years. I've been following her. She's been doing her thing. So when you hear clips from her, that's her name. Her name is Lena Petrova. Go find her. She's on YouTube and everything. You could go check out yourself. That's why I like to use her whole clip so everybody knows, and they could get get props for the content that they make. But just check out what she says in this clip.
I want to share with you a quick update on the US economy. Specifically, we'll talk about the spike in bankruptcy filings, both Chapter 11 commercial and personal. This is very important and, in my opinion, quite alarming because it impacts employment numbers, among other things. By the way, if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, give this video a thumbs up, and join me on Substack for more weekly content. As I mentioned previously, Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings in the United States skyrocketed since the Federal Reserve started raising rates. This was, of course, due to high cost of financing and inflated prices that made it very challenging for businesses in many industries to make enough profit to sustain their operations, let alone finance growth. So the number one problem has been expanding debt. The latest data is as of November. There were more than 842 companies that went bankrupt in the United States in November alone. The most important question here is, has this increase in bankruptcy filings become a trend? And if so, will it continue next year? Well, let's take a closer look here. If you look at November 2023 data versus the same month last year, November 2022, you will see that we just experienced a 141% jump in Chapter 11 filings. 842 companies went out of business versus 349 companies last November. On the year-to-date basis, there have been nearly a quarter more, 21% more to be exact, companies that went bankrupt in 2023 versus last year. There were 2,242 companies this year versus just under 1,900 last year. There's more bad news. When it comes to small business filings, Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code, small business filings went up by nearly 80%, 80% compared to November of last year. WeWork, commercial real estate company filing case in the beginning of November, you may remember this, it included 517 related filings. So we really need to keep in mind that WeWork crash is likely just the very tip of an iceberg that is commercial real estate market. As vacancy rates increase, it's likely that we will see more similar failures. There have been an increase in individual bankruptcy filings as well. Surprisingly, it's about a quarter increase. There were 35,500 individuals who filed for bankruptcy protection in November alone. Consumers are absolutely struggling with rising credit card debt and increasing delinquencies on their loans. I am convinced that the bankruptcy trend, as far as individuals go, will continue next year. The most recent data from the Federal Reserve here shows a steep increase in household debt. Here's a closer look. Actually, this is unlike anything we've seen before, with the exception of that spike back in 2010. Consumer debt now stands above $1 trillion. As you know, student loan repayments on $1.6 trillion student debt balance resumed back in October. Well, how did that work out? As it turns out, 40% of all student loan holders failed to make payments on time. So there are about 22 million borrowers. That means that nearly 9 million of them missed their student loan payments. With an average payment being above $500 per month, it's not surprising at all. Affordability has been at an all-time low. Besides that, consumers are struggling with their loan balances in general. For example, having a car in the United States is not exactly a luxury, it's more of a necessity. With regards to car loans, recent reports show that over the last 2 years alone, average negative equity on a car is up a massive 50%. In other words, while the average interest rate on a used car loan is at a record 12%, the average person with negative equity owes more than $6,000 more than what the car is actually worth. This is because these loan rates are so high that compound interest makes the outstanding balance grow faster than your monthly payments can make a dent in them. This is nothing but a true, literally uphill battle on the rapidly depreciating assets that cars are. This will keep pulling more and more resources from these people while they are piling on more credit card debt, more other types of personal debt, and then have to repay all of that. So this was the data as of November. Despite the Fed hinting at rate cuts and once again telling us that soft landing is now just around the corner, the latest December data is actually looking worse than the data I just shared with you as of November. Take a look. This data covers the second week of December only. There were a total of 8,388 bankruptcy filings that week alone. This is a 16.6% increase from the same week last year, with the biggest rise in Chapter 11 commercial filings, nearly a 31% increase year over year. If we look at the underlying data, we will see that it involves yet another real estate company that went bankrupt. That should address whether this is a trend or a one-off event. Clearly, such a steep increase in bankruptcies is an indicator that things are not quite as good as the mainstream media is trying to convince us. Without a doubt, the data I just shared with you shows businesses have been struggling. This year alone, we've had such companies as Bed Bath & Beyond, Party City, David's Bridal, and others go out of business, and we will likely see more companies follow this path next year. When it comes to an average person trying to make sense of what's going on and make ends meet, we'll see a surge in bankruptcy filings soon. I hate to say this, but just looking at these numbers I just shared with you, without a considerable increase in wages and salaries, which we know is not going to happen, this looks less than promising. Thank you for watching the
With all these bankruptcies coming out, and like the previous clip said, all the retail and commercial properties, people can't afford it no more. Everybody's living a fantasy. Remember when I said a while ago, let's keep it real with each other? We broke. We really ain't got it. Everybody acting like this recession ain't real. Everybody acting like everything's fine. This been going on for a while, and I've been saying it for a while. I've been telling everybody, pay off your debt. If you got a Benz or a Beamer, and get rid of your car, get a hoopty. That's what the Class for Clunkers was about. They wanted to get you out of those old school cars that you could keep in your driveway and fix yourself with whatever you can, and then keep it pushing. These new cars you got to have almost an electrical engineering degree just to repair it, to change the battery. So like what I'm trying to tell everybody is like let's be honest with each other. Let's know what's really going on. Ladies, y'all gotta prepare because with all these, the real estate market, the commercial market going down, when they say they're getting rid of jobs, let's keep it real. If you're not in the medical field, when this next pandemic and all this other nonsense happen, there's gonna be a lot of jobs that nobody's not even gonna have. And that's when people are gonna start depending on the government. And then that's where the great reset's gonna start. And then everybody's gonna get the what they call it, the valued yearly income or whatever. They're just gonna give you a basic income so everybody can live in an apartment. They do that in Europe right now. Ask people in Europe how it is in Europe. Everybody has basic income. Remember when Bobby Brown went to Europe and Bobby Brown was walking through the streets? Everybody had apartments. Everybody had everything, but they broke. That's the only thing you will have is a place to live, and that's it. So if you don't want to have that lifestyle, you got to plan now. And I'm telling you, all this is happening. I'm not creating this. I'm not making this up. This is what's actually happening. This is what's being projected by our government that's telling us that this is what's happening in the federal government, in the banking system, that they could tell that nobody has it. They don't even have it. When 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 the person that's supposed to be selling you a house can't even pay their rent on their real estate apartment or their real estate building, on their office, they can't even afford it. Do you understand what that means? Your real estate agent can't even afford the office that you're supposed to come to and sign for your new house and everything. They can't even afford that. That means there's going to be a lot of layoffs next year. I told you. All these corporations are trying to make as much money as they can before the holidays. Guarantee when you read next week and see how many people spent money, nobody spent nothing. I put a clip up today on my Facebook page about how certain parts of Charlotte don't even have lights up. They can't afford that. You know, they got to hire people to do that and to take it down and put it up. They're not hiring nobody. You got one Christmas tree. I've been down here 17 years. I've never seen it down there in UNC looking like that. That's a sign of what's coming on. And I'm trying to prepare the women because what's happening is the men's going to find a way to work. They're going to go out there. We're going to find a way to do something. It's going to be the ladies, my daughters, your daughters. That's going to be left out there to do what? Like I keep saying, I said it before. Ladies, you do not want to give up what's between your legs for a bag of rice when things hit the fan. Because there's a lot of weirdos out there. A lot of them. And a lot of them are getting cases and cases of rice, if you understand what I'm talking about. Everybody better understand what's about to happen. They telling you right now. I'm going to keep going. Let's go.
Being able to say, hey, over here, I could get approved for that loan because we knew what banks were going to do. We knew that banks were going to make it harder for you to get lending. We knew that it was going to be tougher all the way around in the economy when it comes to jobs. We knew all of this stuff was going to happen. And I've been telling you guys, be ready. That's my whole thing. Sit on the sidelines with a purpose. And unfortunately, a lot of people overspend. The latest Federal Reserve study revealed a concerning trend among American households, particularly those outside the wealthiest, 20%, according to a Bloomberg report. Since onset of the pandemic, they have depleted their extra savings and have less liquid assets than they had before the pandemic began. Now, a lot of you guys are like, Orlando, how could that be when everybody was getting free money? The government was just shelling out money. Well, you know, it's lifestyle creep. And if you guys don't know what lifestyle creep is basically when you get extra money, right? You have all this additional income coming in. And now that you have that extra money, you elevate your lifestyle.
This isn't my money. That's no money. That isn't my money.
And you just continue to elevate it and elevate it. The more money you make, the more you elevate your lifestyle. And a lot of individuals elevated their lifestyles. They went on more vacations, got that brand new car. They're eating out more, doing more entertainment, music, concerts, comedy shows, everything you could think of, people were out here doing. They didn't care.
A year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
Orlando, how do you know that?
It's in the economy reports. It's so easy to see. We have an issue with people spending and spending and spending. That is the whole point of raising the interest rates. That's the whole reason why the Fed is continuing to raise interest rates, because they want to slow spending. But us Americans, We continue to spend and spend and spend. And now we're in a situation where we spent so much that no one has any savings left.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Now, isn't there irony in this? We're going into the biggest spending season, which is the holiday season, Christmas season. And we're going into that huge spending. And most people have already spent all of the money. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do if they've depleted their savings? We know what they're going to do. More debt.
Hell no, man.
We're going to see individuals throw more money in credit card debt over and over and over. As of June, the bottom 80% of households by income, when adjusted for inflation, had lower bank deposits and other liquid assets compared to their status in March 2020. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm saying when I say, did you really spend $20,000 on McDonald's, Burger King, Popeye's Chicken, Cheesecake Factory? Did you really do that? And I know a lot of you guys say, Orlando, don't be crazy. I didn't do that. But if I look at your bank statements, you know that chart where it tells you where all of your spending is? I bet 75% of that spending is restaurants. You can peek at your bank statement and go, you're not talking about me. Well, we're going to just push that to the side. And it's only going to get worse from there, guys. It's only going to get worse. Why? Because we saw that the CPI report came out, and what did it say? It says inflation was flat in October from the prior month. Core CPI hits 2-year low. Now, what does that mean? That means basically things are expensive still. It hasn't changed. It's just that simple. Things are still expensive. You know, you're still going to pay $4 for an apple. You know, gas is still going to be through the roof. We know housing is still through the roof. Even though it's coming down, it's still through the roof. So we know that things are still going to be high. And, you know, the government is telling us that, unemployment, everything is just, everything is still peachy. You know, you can get a job very easily. They're coming out with these record high numbers. But then when I turn around and I look, I see, look. Citigroup is doing a 10% layoff of all of their employees. It says Citigroup mulling layoffs. And then when you go down to here, it says, should the impending layoffs see Fraser parting with an additional 10% of staffers, roughly 24,000 workers. 24,000 workers lost their job. And this is the reason why I tell you guys, you cannot think that these companies are loyal. You cannot believe to yourself and think,
they're not going to lay me off. No way. Orlando, do you know I have seniority here? These companies would never do me like that. Do you know how much work? They tell me all the time that I'm one of their best workers. Matter of fact, I got plaques all over my wall showing that I am Employee of the Month. There's no way that these guys would get rid of me.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
And then, poof, they get rid of you. That's what I'm trying to say. These companies are not loyal, guys. So if you believe that the companies will choose you over profit, you're wrong. And I say this all the time, and I mean it. When it comes to cutting costs, the number one cost that every company and corporation will do is they're going to fire or lay off individuals. The easiest way to cut costs is to get rid of people. And that's what they're going to do. So they are not loyal to you guys.
No! Go back to work!
The situation indicates a dwindling financial buffer for the majority of U.S. consumers. Their spending has been the driving force in keeping the economy active, averting a widely anticipated recession. But as these household financial reserves deplete, concerns about the impending economy downturn are resurfacing. Really? Are we still having this conversation about, are we going to have a recession? Are we not? Are we going to have a recession? Are we not? It's pretty simple to me, guys. It's pretty simple to me. Inflation is through the roof. Housing is through the roof. Everything is through the roof. Gas, services, everything is super high. And then we have wage growth that's not growing at all. And then we have people getting laid off. 24,000 workers just gone. You see all of these red flags and you still believe, yeah, we're going to have a soft landing.
What I'm trying to get everybody at is to know that this is real. Layoffs are coming. The banks ain't lending. People are about to start losing their houses, and everybody's going to start renting. And see, what it is that once you're in debt, it's going to be hard to get lending for anything. Remember when I was saying, hopefully pay off everything you can, because once all this stuff fell, okay, check this out, y'all. This is just, I'm just getting off the subject for a minute. This is how they're designing it. Just imagine. I always say, draw a picture. Check this out. The elitists are using the third world countries as their slave labor, and they use the people in the West, us, the citizens, as the peasants, as their working class here. When everything collapsed, and they say that you're not supposed to own anything, owning property is a sin. If you're one of the lucky SOBs that can own a piece of property when all of this is over, you will be considered what would call back in the Gothic or castle days of Roman Catholic as a baron. You will be the upper middle class of the peasants. See how they had peasants, and then you had people that wasn't quite royalty, but they were rich too. How were they rich? They were able to make it through the bad times and keep something, so that they're able to be the people that own the restaurants and all the other stuff, while the kings and queens was up there, the people at the next level. How do you stay that next level? You got to own something. You got to have an asset. Everybody's about to lose stuff. Here's the thing that they're talking about. This is what they're really saying. Check it out. If you have any money when this crash comes, you'll probably be able to buy an apartment building for pennies on the dollar. A whole apartment building. One of these old brick ones. Notice they're building new ones now. Probably because they're going to destroy all the brick ones, because they the ones that got all the copper inside and all. They don't want you to have no value, nothing. The Great Reset. So when I bring these things up, remember, go back to when if they take us back to the Stone Age, who's powerful, men or women? Come on now. Who's more powerful, a man or a woman? Ladies, come on. I don't care what they're doing with this new transgender and all this nonsense. I'm talking facts. If we got smashed back to the Stone Ages and all the women were left, all the men were left, no technology, nothing, who the strongest? Are your women going to outdo us men? No. So your women are going to need the protection. You're going to need to know how to protect yourselves, or you're going to need protection. It is what it is. And if you don't, you better learn how to do it yourself. And I'm only painting this narrative because this is for real. There's thousands of y'all ladies, thousands. You better start opening your eyes and stop thinking that everything is just all these pages that you have and my fans and all this other nonsense. You better stop that, because trust me, dudes ain't paying for nothing when the dollar crashes, because dollar ain't gonna be worth nothing. So how you gonna get paid on your OnlyFans? You're gonna have to get something up for a bag of rice. That's what I call it. Giving up whips between your legs for a bag of rice. Because you're going to have to survive. If you don't want to go through that, you better plan now. I'm telling you, better go find a good man, a hard-working testosterone man. That dude that you left because you thought he was too good because he worked at the garbage company and he wasn't making $50,000, making $500,000 a year. He's only making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That's it. Y'all didn't like him. You better go find him. And don't be mad if you got a couple of extra chicks because you messed up. Because that's what's going to end up happening. Yeah, that's what's going to end up happening. You're going to have to finally accept you're sharing a dude when things hit the fan if y'all want some protection. If not, you're just on your own. And trust me, there's going to be some women fighting for them, man. So don't stay out there thinking that you're going to be safe on your own, like you could do it. You saw that lady that was a boxer. She thought she could fight. An amateur boxer dropped her. Stop thinking that, ladies. You're not men. You're women. You're strong. You have a place and a position, and everybody does, just like men do. We have a position. I know my place. I know my position. But when y'all don't have a man that knows their place and position in your life, you better prepare, because it ain't going to get no better. All that I was showing you right now, most of that stuff right there was mostly on the on just the housing. Because that's where y'all need to stay. Y'all need to stay in a house. You're going to need food, clothing, shelter. If you get some clothing, y'all can take care of that yourself. The food and the shelter is where, you're going to have to work hard to maintain. There's a lot of things going on right now in the world that nobody's really telling y'all about. And I hope y'all start listening.
Of the new mystery pneumonia also that is spreading globally around the world. And I'm going to be sharing with you the latest headlines coming out in the past 24 hours to get you caught up, as also the United States is saying they are now urging Congress to suspend China travel amid the uptick in respiratory illness. I'm going to be covering these headlines as I mentioned with you. Now, in addition to that, we've also received word that, let's see here, Republicans urge Biden to suspend that. And as I mentioned, 11 states have high or very high respiratory illness. Map shows where sickness is spreading. This is in the United States. In addition to that, you guys, we've also heard that this is spreading globally. This map reveals all countries hit by the surge in pneumonia cases, dubbed the white lung disease, as China plagued by the bug. And also, another country is added. Another European nation reports mysterious pneumonia outbreak in children following reports in China. It is France. France joins Denmark and the Netherlands in reporting increased cases of pneumonia among kids. And as I mentioned, I'm trying to live stream here. Hopefully you can.
So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that there's a disease X coming, and they keep saying it. Now they call it white lung disease. They got something called the 30-day cough. This is happening in the United States right now. As we speak, right now. And overseas, they call it the disease X. In China, they call it disease X. Right now, they call it different things, just like they did with coronavirus. Did y'all forget? We're still in 2023. We didn't get past the last pandemic yet. I don't even have TV. I don't watch the news. And I know this is going on. Y'all got it. If y'all got regular, y'all got to know this is going on. If y'all don't, I'm telling you, it's for real. Layoffs, disease X's are coming. Food crisis coming. It's going to be a cold ass winter. All this is coming down at the same time. And then on top of it, you got this Biden and Hunter Biden thing going on. And you know, they're not going to let the man listen. And then you got the Diddy thing going on, and they talking about all this pedophile stuff that's about to start coming out and all this other thing allegedly. Like, I'm telling you, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that they're going to make sure that you don't know all that's coming out. So trust me, don't be surprised if more explosions go off next year. Don't be surprised. They're already hacking. Look it up. They're already trying to get into the power grids. Wait till they shut down power. Wait till they shut down your water supply. Wait till they start poisoning your water. I'm telling you, they're trying to do it. They're telling you they're going to do it. They're telling you this out there. Do your own research. And I'm telling you, ladies, you better go get some damn boots. Get some boots. Get some jeans. Listen, I keep telling y'all, you really need, and I'm talking to ladies specifically right now, you need to go start talking to, and don't be afraid to talk to women from other countries that have been through, quote unquote, bad situations. You understand? Like, don't ever think it can't happen. Everybody said it can't happen here. It's happening here right now. It started with 9/11. We got attacked. Ever since then, it's been on and popping. Y'all don't realize that? We're being invaded. All kinds of things are happening. And when I say this with sincerity. Now, I'm not trying to plant no fear. I'm not clickbaiting nobody. I've always been like this. And I just feel like that this is the time that somebody needs to tell y'all what the real story is. Because when things hit the fan, and a lot of you ladies are going to be sitting out there by yourselves when the internet blackout come and you sit in your apartment because you're only lady and you got a couple of dudes in your apartment that you don't really like and they know you there by yourself. Do you know how to close your doors? Do you know how to lock them? Do you know how to have you set your living room up where you can have it but slide your couch across real quick? Give you a few minutes? All right. I'm trying to talk to you for real. I'm not going to give you a gift for another video game or a gift card or something so you can go spend at Target and just waste it like that. Nah. Them days is over. I'm not giving that. I'm giving you a gift of survival. Somehow people have to know that that all of this is real. You ladies need to know it's real. Check it out. This is how you know it's real.
What's coming down the pike, right? They tell you through movies, through music, what they're going to do. It's called, and you guys can look this up, the revelation of the method. They do this to avoid bad karma. I mean, who would have thought, evil would have, morals? They put their true intentions out there so nobody could accuse them of not warning us of things to come. All right. It's like when you hear Bill Gates talking about depopulating the earth, he does it. And they believe that when they tell us this, they will not face consequences. In 1981, I dug a little deep, Pat. In 1981, the CIA director, William Casey, said to Ronald Reagan in the West Wing, and there's a bunch of people that said he said this. He said, and I quote, "We will know our disinformation is complete when everything the American public believes is false." This was an American spy, CIA guy. And it's not like, Pat, when I talk about this type of stuff, guys, that it's not true. This movie came out last week. Guess what happened yesterday? A massive cyber attack in the United States by China for our infrastructure. They know what's coming down the pike, right? They tell you through movies, through music, what they're going to do.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, it's happening for real. And that's what it's called. The revelation of the method. I've been knowing this for years. I've been telling people that. I just didn't know what the definition was until I seen this brother over on the PBD podcast. And he said it right here. That's why I kept that clip right there, because that's what's called revelation of the method. That's what these occultists believe. That's what they call it. That's why they tell you stuff. You ever watch a movie, like I said before, you watch a movie and be like, damn, oh, shoot, I just seen that in a movie. No, it's predictive programming. They're telling you what they're going to do ahead of time. They let you know that they got to do it. It's like universal law in their culture. You understand? They have to tell you what they're going to do to you, and they do all the time, which brings me to this new movie that that's on Netflix that Barack and Michelle and them co-executive produced. This movie is so much propaganda. Oh my Lord, man. Like, I'm not even gonna get up into all the symbolism and the 666s and all that other stuff that they got in there and all the obeys and NASA that we on the firmament, all that little symbolism they got in there. I'm not even getting into that. I'm gonna go straight to the point. To me, 3 things that I got out of that movie. 1, that movie is designed to start a race war. And the race war, what it is, and that's why I keep saying they got to keep using race. That's the only way they could keep us divided, y'all. Leave that alone. Leave the racism out of it. Racism is not going to work. Like I keep saying, it's going to be classism and debt. That's what they're trying to get you into. All the clips I just played is to get you into debt, to make sure you don't earn it. I heard what the lady said on the news. She even said it. You will own nothing and like it. You will be a peasant and poor. That's what they're trying to get you to. And they're doing it by design. Chaos by design. Chaos by design. Revelation of the method. Look it up and understand what they're doing to you. You could beat this if you plan. The second thing, if you really not conscious of the subliminal messages that's being put in that movie, you would actually have them tell you that there's no such thing as a cabal or a deep state or elitists or anybody pull it. There's no puppet masters. There's no kingmakers. They'll make you think that none of that stuff is true, that everything is just happening because we the people just don't know what we're doing and we just start killing ourselves. Nah, it's chaos by design. How do you beat it? You plan. Like that dude who was standing on step, he had his gun in his ration. Other dude had a bunker. Some people planned, some people didn't. The people that didn't, sorry, survival of the fittest. How do you survive of the fittest? You plan now. Everything. Ladies, get your boots. Start practicing on how to wear them. Leave a bug-out bag by your door. Because, and the reason why I keep saying this bug-out bag thing is not because you can't hunker down to where you at or whatever. You need that bug-out bag because you got to remember, just not even 10 years ago, let's go back in time. We just went through COVID. How many people died through that pandemic? They call it a pandemic. Then we have Black Lives Matter and all that burning down cities. Imagine if you was in one of those buildings that was burning down and somebody banging on your door telling you, hey, get out, it's on fire. What are you going to do? You got to run. Make sure you got your bag ready. These people are burning down buildings. Okay? So like I said, it's not just governmental where you got to be prepared. It's ignorance, stupidity. These NGOs, these people, they coming in doing this on purpose. I tell you all the time about books that I've read. Right? There's one called Propaganda. Edward Bernays. Propaganda. Quick book. I'm telling you. Just pick up these books when you're done with it, pass it along. And the next one is the one that all these people that is what's happening right now. It's called Rules for Radicals. They're laying down their blueprint. You could read that book and see everything happening. And finally, the last and third thing that I got out of that movie, and I'm telling you, and I said it before, and I want y'all to keep this. Please pass this along. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your people. even if it's just this part that they listening to. This is what I always told y'all. Like I said, I'm always been into that Cloak of Daggers, James Bond, Triple Agent, not really understanding what's going on, double speak. I really believe that this is a psyop on American people. This whole movie, especially the blacks. Remember, they can't win. They don't want the blacks voting for Trump. Listen to me, y'all. They do not want the black vote going to Donald Trump, and he has it already. That's what they don't want. They really don't want that happening. They'll stop at anything to do it. And how they going to do it? They have Barack Obama and Michelle Obama make this movie that's probably going to come into effect. Now, it might not be a total blackout or internet, but it's going to be something like this Disease X. It's going to be something major. I really think it is going to be a semi internet blackout. Why I say semi? Because it needs to not go all the way out. They just need enough for you people and everybody out there to believe that Barack Obama and his wife Michelle Obama are the saviors, are the false prophets. Oh shit. Barack Obama, the first black president. Yo, they made a movie because, yo, you know, he made that movie because what he was really trying to do was he was really trying to let the people know that just what they was going to do, but because we planned for it, yo, for real, they were trying to help us out. Then all of a sudden, like I told you a few episodes ago, Michelle Obama going to swoop in. She going with a nice cape, not saying nothing. Everybody going to do, oh, Michelle Obama, but they knew they was presidents. They knew all these secrets already. They knew that was them trying to tell us what's happened so we could believe in them. Yeah, y'all going to believe in them and vote for them, and then that's going to be it. The nail is in the coffin. Don't fall for it. I'm telling you, please, 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 please don't fall for it. When she comes swooping in out of nowhere, trust me, this is a psyop on y'all, man. Don't fall for it. We fell for it 1,000 times. You don't got to be listen, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for a long time. Trust me, this is what I'm. All right, listen, y'all don't got to believe me. Just plan and prepare. And everything I just told you on here, don't believe me. Go look it up yourself. Don't believe nothing I told you. Go look it up yourself. See if none of this stuff is really happening. See if we not being invaded. Yo, this dude Dick Durbin just said in Congress or whatever that they want to start allowing military-aged men, foreigners, illegal aliens, people that came over here illegally to join the military if they could pass a background check and they physically fit. Did you see the picture of them Chinese dudes coming across that border? Go look it up. Chinese immigrants crossing the border. Look how physically fit these dudes are. They're already generals and probably sergeants and lieutenants in the Chinese military, and they coming across. Them dudes don't look like they running from some depression or some regime. No, they look like they coming over here with a purpose. Imagine allowing them join our military. Are you serious? Like, are they really thinking about this? How do you do a background check on a legal immigrant who came across the border with no papers and nothing? How do you know who they are? What's wrong with these people? We're being set up. These are laws that they pass, and I'm telling you right now, Christmas is tomorrow. Y'all should know through history how many laws and bills passed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, when everybody was at home, sitting home doing nothing. Isn't that how they took us off the gold standard in the middle of the night? Ain't that what the Bible said, that Jesus is going to come like a thief in the night? That's what they do. They come in thieves in the night. But they starting on cloak. They letting you see everything. So ladies, for real, plan. Plan. Assume you're going to be by yourself. And honestly, I'm going to keep it real, even if you do got a man. What if your man's like a trucker, clutching in, clutching out? Like, I always talk about my truckers because I know what it's like not to be home, fellas. I did it for years. Trust me, I know what it's like not to be home. Your wife and kids is at home and you on the road. And you so far sometimes your phone don't even get those receptions. And then by the time you get to the thing, your phone's ringing off the hook. Something doesn't happen at the house. You don't even get it. And you 4 states away. Like, I know, fellas, like, yo, ladies, when your husband's not around, he could be at work. Shit, your husband could be a police officer. You could live in Long Island. Your husband is a police officer in the Bronx. And all hell breaks off in New York City. Yeah, he got to get home. All the way back to Long Island. Remember? Warriors come out to play. Had to get back to Staten Island, to Coney Island. That was a long ride to get back to just to Coney Island. right? Imagine just trying to get home. Those were gang members trying to get home with other gangs. Just imagine a civilian trying to get home. I'm telling y'all. You better start buying a little bit of batons. You better get some mace. You better get a couple of tasers. Anything. I don't care if it's illegal. I'm telling you, even if it's illegal in your state, you better keep your mouth shut and put it in your backpack, and it might still save your life. You better, because they don't care about you. It's time for y'all to start really doing what y'all got to do to survive. I'm telling you. Get your hands on a taser if you can. Keep that thing charged. Learn how to use your mace. Don't just have it on your keychain. You know how many people start shaking and don't even know how to turn the knob, pull it down and twitch it to the side? Practice with your left thumb or your right thumb, whatever hand you are playing with that mace, how to open that. Start finger effing your mace. Start talking to your kids on how to shut up when things go left. You say be quiet. They need to know how to shut up. Nah, but I just want to shut up. Start having these hard conversations as a family. Because, see, my Latino brothers know. My Haitians know. My Africans know. My Jamaicans know. Indians in Saudi Arabia, all the people from other nations, they know. They've been through it for years. They was raised through it. All my Palestinians know. Shit, if you want to keep it real, even on the Jewish side, when they got to go running, they got boots on, don't they? Don't they got bunkers? Aren't they protected? Why don't you do that for yourself? Even just on some regular crap. If you live on Long Island, every house on Long Island, like I said, should have a raft or a boat. Imagine if in New Orleans, they made sure every house in New Orleans had a raft. You had a 3-bedroom house that has 4, 8, 12. You had to have 12-man raft, so a boat on the side of your house with them levees being right there. If you live in the mountains around trees, like I said, you need to have that foam that shoots out around your house to stop the fire. Natural protection should be given no matter where you live. Why we ain't got that? The leaders, they protecting themselves. Their kids are being protected. They got bodyguards. They got guns. They got redoubts. They got bomb shelters and all kinds of stuff. Why you ain't got it? Why when Tiger Torchy talks about it, it's like, oh, Tiger's on that crap again? No, they got it. Didn't Zuckerberg and them just spend like $100 million on a bunker? Why he doing that? He better than you? He ain't better than me. All these elitists, they better than you? You think they better than you? You telling them they better than you? Then why don't you set yourself up to prepare and plan now also? Because it's coming. And they telling you it's coming. Everything's coming out. One time it's going to come. And I'm just trying to tell you ladies, y'all better prepare. I'm protecting my daughters. I ain't got a lady right now. But if I had a lady that I could hold on to, that could be here with me, I'll protect her too. A lot of us men, like I said, all the uncles out there, we're going to be protecting the women in our family and our clan, but a lot of y'all just going to be out there by yourself because you did it that way. You think you're supposed to be by yourself. Ladies, nah. Trust me, ask all them ladies that was coming across the Mexican border that was getting sex trafficked, that was getting snatched, if they wish they had some strong men. All them Palestinians that got to run. You don't think they love them strong men that's holding them down for what's going on? Just rethink about what's going on right now, ladies. Seriously. Like I'm going to say, if there's a dude out there that you thought was a square because he drove a cab or because he worked for the garbage company or he was a truck driver and he wasn't one of them 6-figure niggas, you better go snatch him back up because he's the one that's going to save your life. He's the one that's going to protect you. He's the one that's going to love you. He's the one that's going to take care of your kids. He's the one that's going to make sure you eat and make sure you're safe. Trust me. You think men ain't out there? We out there. And I'm talking for all men. I'm standing on that. We out there. Real men are out there. We there. 100% real men are out there. Hoorah to all real men. We there. A lot of y'all women just push that to the side like we ain't around, but we right there. And trust me, y'all gonna come running to us, standing right behind us. And we're gonna stand right there and let y'all run behind us because we men. But y'all need to start recognizing this nonsense now and get ready. Get ready to hold your man down when he said, all right, baby, I gotta walk 2 to 3 miles, see if I go find something to eat. Hold the house down. You better be ready to do that until he get back. That's why I said, talk to some West Indian women. Like I said, my wife, she practiced with that night. Her father, Mr. Morrell, tough old man. She was raised by a tough old man and a tough woman, Miss Morrell. West Indian women, West Indian culture. And they don't play. Them West Indian women, man, they don't suck their teeth for them. That's, man, listen, check yourself. A lot of these Latino women, they subservient and they meek and everything. You ask them Latino men right now how tough their women are. Go ahead. They know their women tough. Ain't no weak Puerto Ricans, no weak Mexican, no weak Salvadorian women. Are you serious? Them women tough. American women, y'all better toughen up. And it's wild. You know why it's so wild? Because it's like the women that was in the hood are tougher than the ones that's not because they've been through it. Let's not find out the ones in the hoods and the ones that got to be saving y'all ladies. Get that bouginess out of you. Know that the rest of the world don't like us. We're Americans. That's why some want to come here to be like us and show how it's supposed to be done. But a lot of countries don't like you, ladies. So just think about it. Seriously. That's all I'm trying to say. Just think about it. Prepare. It's out there. They telling you it's out there. It's really out there. They not playing no games with y'all. I'm not playing no games with y'all. I know there's a lot of fathers out there that feel what I'm saying. Talk to your wife. Get your wife some boots and some jackets so when y'all got to jump in that four-wheel and go. And go get an old hoopty too. I'm telling you, I'm saying, if you find an old hoopty or a Ford Escape or something like that, go get that. Pull that up and fix it. Make sure it's running. Because if an EMP and all that came, most of them, these new cars ain't gonna run. Now watch that movie. They're electric. They could guide them. They can control your car. I don't like none of that. I'm keeping my Ford Escape. I'm keeping that Toyota Corolla. I'm keeping it. I had people knock on my door and want to buy my Toyota Corolla. Nah, I'm keeping it. But anyway, I'm about to flip the script right now and go into the Tiger Tall Tree perspective. You know what I mean? See, it is a holiday season, man. This is Christmas, man. And I don't know. I've never really been into the holidays. There's never nothing that really inspired me to really be about it. But lately, I've been realizing that it's about what you believe the holidays are about, not what they promote it about. So if everybody really believes that the holidays about giving gifts and everything, then stay away from me. That's not what it's about. I say I'm giving a gift of survival. I'm just saying that to be mainstream, but we know that ain't what it's about. That's why everybody broke. Because not nobody's strong enough to say that's not what it's really about. It's really about just following a moral compass. That's what I think Christmas is about. And based on the way my grandmother was telling me, it's about a moral compass. So at this point right now, my moral compass is try to help people. There's been a couple of ladies that have been following me on my TikTok that's been asking crazy, nice questions. One lady, Miss Herminia, like I said, thank you, ma'am. She helped me find a mission, a purpose, and I thank you for that. Miss Joanne 697, I believe that's what it is. She asked some cool questions that helped me go in the right direction. She's one of the ones that really helped me start talking about you ladies. Because it was ladies that asked me about the survivor. What do I do if I only got this? What I told her was, use what you got. Whatever it is you got. She said she only had 3 pots. I don't know if she was being sarcastic or she was dead serious. But I told her, if you got 3 pots, go find somebody with some rice and find somebody with some cabbage. Y'all go in the house, cook, and you can eat, and you'll survive. Notice, once again, if you watch that movie, notice that he was talking about barter. And I've been saying that for the longest, the barter system. That's what's going to go back. When things get smashed down, when things don't work no more, it's going back to the barter system. That's what everything's going to go back to. What are you worth? What can you do? So ladies, can you sew? Can you teach? Can you cook? Can you grow fruits and vegetables? Do you know how to grow that? What is it that you know how to do as a female that will make you valuable to society? Because that's what it's going to be about. And not just what's between your legs, lady. If you don't want that to be what you're worth to society, you better come up with some skills. Some skills that you could have that doesn't include taking pictures on the internet or selfies or images of your body, because that's going to be dangerous. You don't want to do that. So on this Christmas, this year, this is something different. It's new for me. It's the first year that my wife is not here. And I'm trying not to cry. But if you got somebody that y'all love and y'all can spend Christmas together, it ain't about the gifts, y'all. Hug them. I wish Yolanda was here. So this year, just plan, prepare, and love the one that's next to you. Just that's what it's about. Moral compass and love. Hug the person that's next to you. Take time to just talk to them. Take time to plan together. Talk about everything. And we all gonna survive this. We're gonna be good. We're gonna make it to another Christmas. I don't know if I'm gonna make another video for the new year. It depends. Depends on how I feel, how fast things moves. If I don't, all y'all be safe for this new year. Don't spend no money frivolously. Save everything. If you're gonna spend money to buy something to plan for the future. Go buy a power bank with a solar panel on it. Go buy some storable food. Ladies, go buy some boots. Go buy some jeans. Make sure you buy a belt. Fellas, buy belts, man. You don't want your pants falling down when you gotta run, son. Because just like them women with no boots, we leaving you too. If your pants start falling down when we gotta run, homeboy, I'm leaving you. I'm not helping you up or nothing. You should have a belt. Tie your shoes. Get a watch. Shit, get a compass. Get a compass and a map, or just a regular compass. You could go to REI and sign up for a lifetime membership for free. REI actually have free classes on how to read a map, how to use a compass, how to survive in the cold, how to survive in the hot. They have these classes for free at REI. It's at almost every mall. Just go online right now, type in REI, and then sign up for a free membership. Once you sign up for that free membership, then you could go online and just look at all the things that they have for free that they'll teach you. Some you got to pay for. So, of course, that's how they make money, but there's a lot of them for free. I learned how to use a real compass from going to REI. I learned where true north is. There's things you got to really know. It ain't just open up a compass and think you can read a compass. You need to train in these things. For real. Like little things like that. So if y'all want to know what to do, the whole family today, after this, everybody go online and sign up for REI free membership. And then go on REI and see what kind of stuff they will. You guys buy almost every mall. Use the stuff that they give you. Take the free classes first, and then once you see how it goes, take one of they got like $25. They'll tell you meet everybody meet at the local, I don't know, Greenway, and they'll start teaching you how to do things in the woods, and you know what I mean, how to stay warm in the cold, and all kinds of just crazy things they'll teach you. The proper way to ride bikes through the woods and all kinds of stuff, man. Like go to REI. That's a hack that I could give y'all today. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Do that, y'all. This is something free. Y'all don't got to go in debt for it. And y'all could do it as a family. Sign up as a family. Yo, fellas, take your sons and your daughters to REI and teach them all how to use a compass. A real compass. They might sell you one when you get there. I bought my mine from Eddie Bauer. I got a nice Eddie Bauer compass. I'm an Eddie Bauer head. I stay rocking Eddie Bauer. I don't get promoted for this, but Eddie Bauer got some tough jeans. Trust me. Eddie Bauer jeans last. They built to last. Especially if you get the classic Eddie Bauers. Yeah, they built to last. Eddie Bauer t-shirts are warm. They're wicked. Anyway, get a compass. REI. Y'all could do it, y'all. I know that this perspective this week is a little bit different because right now things are moving so fast. The only thing I'm thinking about is making sure everybody's safe because it's real, man. I sit back and I'm not getting too excessive with this or wilding out. But when every time I turn around, it's something that's literally legitly happening. I have no other choice but try to warn y'all. So please, 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 just ladies, today's for the ladies. Merry Christmas, ladies. This is for y'all to start thinking. Really start thinking outside the box. How you gonna protect yourself? Sit down with the ladies in your family. Sit down with the ladies at your job. There's a lot of jobs where 90% of the building is female. What do y'all do when Black Lives Matter start burning shit down right in front of your job, and you got to get out of there, but they blocking your ways out? Do y'all know how to get out? Did y'all set up any? Do y'all know how to lock your building down for y'all just to stay in there so they don't burn the building down? Like, what kind of contingency plans do you have from at work to get home and then get to the house? Y'all need to know how to do this. Are y'all doing this? Have y'all even thought about that? Like, real talk. Like, have y'all bought any CBs? Cheap radios, 5 mile, 10-mile radios, $85 to $110. You're buying all these expensive clothes and buy some radios. Leave one at the house and keep one in your purse. Always keep it off. Check the batteries every 3 weeks. I mean, y'all need to start setting up things like that. You need to keep one of the radios too. When you get in range, every 2 hours, y'all turn the radio on. All right, I'm getting closer. Turn the radio off. Save the battery. You're going to have to know how to talk to each other, how to communicate to each other when things go left. Y'all got to know, all right, everybody make it to the house if you're here. If it happens at this time of the day, go here. If you got to hunker down, do this. If you get to the house and it's late and we say we ain't open the door, go to this window. Tap on the window. Feel me? Secret knocks and all that. Remember they used to have all that? Because I know when I was raised, my parents said, you better not answer that damn door. We was raised since little kids don't know into the door, so we know that already. Start coming up with little things like this and start reconnecting with your kids and your family and your wife and your husband or your boyfriend or whoever. Start planning something. Like I said, keep a protein bar in your bag and a bottle of water. Because you might get caught at a train station when the power go down. You might be able to walk the next morning, so you might have to just stay there overnight. And you don't want your stomach growling. It's hard to think in the morning when you got, you know what I mean? Keep a couple of things in your bag. Keep yourself a bug out bag. Always have something with you from now on, forever, from here on out. This is the world we live in. I don't think we ever going back to the way it used to be. Me personally. So once again, I'm about to end this, y'all. I gotta get ready to make my daughter some lunch. But happy holidays. Ladies, plan, prepare, protect yourself. Learn how to keep your mouth shut. And when you do start building your arsenal, your arc of survival gear, don't go telling everybody. That's one thing you don't want. I did that to show people what they need to do. I'm good. If you're by yourself, you don't let nobody know the things that you have. You just start buying it little bit by little bit and storing it by yourself. You understand what I mean? Start practicing on how to stitch yourself when you get the first aid kit. Like, go buy a piece of chicken breast, cut it down, fillet it, and then learn how to stitch that together in case you got to give yourself stitches. You'll learn how it feels cutting through a piece of chicken. You might have to survival. I'm telling you. Did you get any Benzathine? Do you have do you have, what size, how big is your first aid kit? And what do you have in it? What do you really have in it? Do you have the scissors in it? Do you have bandages? Do you have wrap, gauze? Do you have tourniquets? Like, what do you have in your bag? What might you leave? Do you have crutches? Do you have a flint, a splint, anything? What if you hurt your leg? You got to tie your own leg up. Do you have you understand what I'm saying? Like, I know it sounds crazy and I know people ain't thinking about it like this, but when things go left and you got to run and you twist your ankle, how many movies have you seen a girl fall, twist her ankle and be like, all right, go ahead, leave me? Nah, Throw you on my shoulder. You was running. You had your sneakers. You had your jeans. I'm not going to leave you. I'll grab you. Let's go. We'll put a splint on it when we get to where we're going. But if you had on heels, I might look at you like, shh, Jesus. You feel me? Get your boots, ladies. Go talk to some of your family members that are female that's in the military. Have a girls' night out with some female military ladies that y'all know, and really ask them stuff that they can tell you, and premise it with that. I want to sit down and talk to you with the things you can tell me, and let some female military people, former military, have a conversation with you, ladies. Go talk to them, real talk. Like not to just y'all so tough. How did you do this? How you being? No, ask them the real questions. How do you survive as a woman? Because it's different. Trust me, survival techniques are a little bit different from a woman than a man. We use the bathroom different. That alone could be a hindrance. You understand? So these are things that I just want y'all to just be aware of. Just the new year's coming fast. We like a week away now from 2024. Wow, 2024, man. Can you believe it? The year 2024. And that's where we going. And it's real. So anyway, that's that. Hope you enjoy your holidays. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hope you learn something. Prepare. If you could pay down any debt until the collapse really happened, pay down whatever you can. Get rid of anything that you owe. If you have rent incentive, give that crap back. You don't need it. It's just a debt. It's just a bill. You don't need it. You don't really need it. Find something else to do. Find another hobby where it's not going to put you in debt. Go to the library today. Get some free books. Use your computer there for free. Give that stuff back. Anything that's a debt, that's a bill or a debt that you really don't need, give it back. If you have a car and you got a payment on it, trade that in and go find a hoopty where the payments are even less than, but at least make it reliable. That's all I'm asking. You see what they're talking about. I'm telling you, the banks aren't lending. Once they hit the interest rate, everything's going to go up because they don't want nobody spending. They're putting a crush on people. So just plan financially, physically, spiritually, and definitely plan emotionally. That's where everybody fails at. The psychological trauma that you could feel when things hit the fan like that. A lot of people ain't mentally ready for it. Start preparing yourself. Go stay home one day by yourself. Turn your phone off for about 4 hours. Start playing some solitaire. Start getting some old school games out. Really bring the Monopoly out. Really bring the Connect 4 back out. Really bring the old Battleship back out. You know what I mean? Bring the Uno, like I always say, bring Uno back out. Whatever it is you got to bring out, bring the originals back out, not the digital version. Get your original, because when the digital's gone, if you don't have the original version, you're going to be by yourself and lonely. Psychologically, people are not meant to be alone. That's why they lose their minds. Sense deprivation. Start learning that. Start practicing that. Start learning how to be by yourself now, being comfortable by yourself now, when you get so bored that you run out there anyway just because you're bored and then find yourself in a bad situation. You understand what I'm saying, ladies? This is strictly for the ladies today. All ladies. Uncles, nephews, uncles go snatch up your nephews. Nephews go ask your uncles questions on New Year's. Right now, ladies, y'all need to start preparing to protect yourself for things that's going to happen. And once again, I'm going to say it for the last time before I hang up. I said it 5 times, I'm going to hang up, but this time I will. Go talk to ladies from other countries that's been through it, and they're the ones that can help you prepare. If you work with a lady from a third world country at your job, at your church, wherever you volunteer at your yoga spot, wherever, if they from Venezuela, South America, ask them honest questions and see what they tell you on how they had to prepare and what they would have to do and why they left their country so fast. This is so that you could be prepared, and that'll be it. But anyway, until next time, if there's a next time, happy holidays, happy New Year.